Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's GSD Daily. Now, today's episode 53. We're going to talk about the tools and tips and technology to help you manage your business online, to manage your digital business, your internet business, or your website, or, everything from managing people to managing invoices to managing traffic and all that other stuff. So I prepared a little presentation for today, which is pretty cool. And I have just a lot of tools that we use in running our business from a day-to-day standpoint. So that's really what I wanted to go through and talk about in today's presentation. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jason Drone. We have a lot of people, hitting the live stream or coming from referrals or shares or whatever. So my name is Jason Drone. I'm creator of doneforyou.com. We specialize in three things: helping companies create offers, building sales funnels, and then ultimately running traffic and automating those sales funnels. And the sales systems, I should say. So one of the questions we get asked all the time, especially when our clients who are growing or scaling, they end up being really, really interested in the tools that can help them get more done more efficiently, I should say. Because there are only so many hours in a day. All of us, we have 24 hours, everybody from Tony Robbins and, to Bill Gates to Warren Buffett. We all have 24 hours in a day, so that's the great equalizer, if you will. If you can figure out how to squeeze more out of those 24 hours, you're going to be that much further ahead. So one of the best ways to do that is by utilizing and automating tools, or utilizing tools and software that can help you get more done, in the time that you are working. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I'm going to flip over to our presentation. All right. So we're going to go here. All right. So business tools that you can use to help you get more done. So basically some popular tools that we use all the time. One of the, so Zendesk is a big one. Zendesk, FreshBooks, and MindMeister. Those are like the three of the biggest tools that we use on a day-to-day basis. Zendesk is our help desk. FreshBooks is invoicing and managing contractors, and then mind mapping is MindMeister. So let's kick over into a browser here. Actually, I'm going to go through and just kind of list these guys out and then walk through them. So project management, we use Basecamp all the time. Content, and then like content management, CRM, email. There's a lot of different options here. Ours is Axis. We use Entreport as well internally. A lot of our clients use ActiveCampaign. We use Google Docs for a lot of managing documents and spreadsheets between the team when multiple people need access to the same thing. We use Slack all the time, and then we also use Dropbox quite a bit, although less frequently now that we're really getting into using Basecamp for a lot of stuff. So we're going to kick over into our browser and kind of walk through this stuff. So here we go. Now let's open up a browser window. All right, we're going to go here. All right, so now you can see my browser, and we're just going to talk about some of these. So Zendesk is one. I've been with Zendesk for a really long time. They have a couple different plans that are really, really helpful for a startup, or an entrepreneur. I think their introductory kind of pricing plan is like $2 a month, and you pay per year, and it gives you like one account, like one support account. One of the reasons that we rely on a tool to manage support that isn't just email is because support threads and support requests are important. You want to know, as a business owner, you want to know if somebody is emailing in over and over and over again. You want to look back over the record of that person's history rather than just kind of file them away in a support folder. So that way the support desk keeps track of all that stuff. It also threads your responses. You can pass it to a different team member. You have a better idea of the history of that prospect. And then you can also integrate that with other tools. Like you can integrate it with Slack. You can integrate it with your invoicing tool. You can integrate it with your CRM. And then it provides just a more robust kind of history of that prospect or customer or client or whatever. So Zendesk is just kind of the tool that we use and never really found the need to go find anything different. Freshdesk is a big one also in the space. So the Fresh suite, the Freshworks suite, I should say, has grown incredibly huge. They have lots and lots and lots of different features, collaboration, ticketing, there's a help widget and analytics and all kinds of other crazy stuff in here. But it works out nicely. Zendesk is just the one that we use. So another one that we use that wasn't listed is Drift. So Drift is the chat bot that we have on our website. In a previous podcast, we actually talked about setting up a chat bot funnel, and Drift is the tool that we use for that. Really, really nice stuff. It does both the conversational widget thing, so you can have like a little chat bot that shows up on your website, and then you can also run a bot. You can build a bot so that it sends people through different workflows. That is in one of the Drift's bigger plans or whatever. But it's really nice, really, really nice stuff. We use FreshBooks for invoicing, and I think FreshBooks is very much like an industry standard anymore. So again, I've been with FreshBooks for probably 8 or 10 years now. So really, really great cloud accounting software. And that's just what handles all of our contractors in invoicing. Really nice, really simple to use. It's cheap. So you don't necessarily need to worry about, anything too complicated when you're running it. And then for mind mapping, I use MindMeister. So MindMeister, MEISTER. And MindMeister, fantastic software. It helps you build mind maps. So I generate a lot of mind maps when I'm in like product creation mode or when I'm working with a client in product creation mode. So like we handle a lot of client project builds, so what we'll do is we'll, schedule some time to get on, brainstorm a project, and we always brainstorm it in this mind mapping software, MindMeister, or it can be any of them. There's lots of different ones. MindMeister is just the one that I've always used. Because it has an iPad app and an iPhone app, so you can literally like brainstorm on the go. You can actually do like this, like a brainstorming on your Apple Watch if you want. I've never done that, but it's a feature that they talk about, So, but mind mapping, incredibly powerful, just for connecting different ideas, so a lot of times what we'll do is we'll kind of like put like the name of a course in the middle, and then we'll figure out what the modules are going to be, and then we go out another layer and we figure out what the lessons inside those modules are going to be. And oftentimes it just starts as a stream of consciousness, so we just started there, and then we just fill it in and we start connecting the dots, connecting the modules together, or connecting the sales pieces together, very workflow like. So it helps us visualize our thoughts really well. Another one that we use, another tool, is Basecamp. So Basecamp, industry leader when it comes to project management. Again, we've been using them for a really, really long time. I think everybody's used them or tried them in terms of like project management. So it's a great tool for working with clients. It's a great tool for keeping track of internal workflows. It's very easy to use. It doesn't get all kind of crazy when it gets into like really, really deep, Gantt charts and everything else when it comes to project management. A lot of times they're slow to adopt new features, but the features that they adopt are really, really powerful, and they're really easy to use, and they're really easy for people to understand. Whereas something a little bit different, like an Asana, which is a free project manager, or at least it was free. It might still be free. I think it's, yeah. well, you can try it for free, but Asana, really, really great software as well. It's also an industry leader. It's just, sometimes a little bit more difficult to use. It's a little bit less intuitive, depending on what you like. I mean, you can always go back and forth. You can look at Trello too. Trello was another project management software. There have got to be 2,500 project management SaaS apps out there, so finding one that works for you is the name of the game. Asana is one, Basecamp is another, Trello is another. You just got to find something that works for you, works for your team. Then in terms of CRM, there's a couple that we use. Contact management, so Pipedrive is one we use for sales specific stuff. So when you're doing sales calls or consultative sales sessions or strategy sessions, Pipedrive is a great tool for it. Somebody can schedule inside the tool. It creates that deal. The deal then you can take through the individual deal stages, which is really, really nice. If you're looking for something that is a little bit more this less consultative selling, like less phone sales and more marketing automation, then our application is at triggers.app called Access. It's a marketing automation suite. Does email marketing, text message marketing, like all that stuff. We use it for a lot of clients. And then the one that we use for anything involving an order form is Entreport. So Entreport does affiliate management. They do order forms. It's a tool suite for that. It's quite a bit more expensive than like Triggers or whatever, but it works out really nicely if you have a business that's doing some decent volume, and you want to kind of consolidate your order forms, your affiliate management, your email marketing, your pages, all that stuff into one solution. Entreport is a great way to do it. Google Docs, I don't think I need to review, because Google Docs is just a great way of, basically working on documents and spreadsheets and stuff as a team. Slack, we should talk about Slack. We use Slack all the time. So Slack is a workplace chat for all intents and purposes. There was probably three-ish years ago, we were on a short road trip or something, my wife and son and myself. And, I was in Skype and I was in email and I was in, text messages and all these different things. And, I was like, I need to just bring the team into one application. And that one application was Slack. And then since then, they've added quite a bit of functionality. So we do a lot of marketing automation triggers inside Slack from the APIs. I think I talked about that in a previous session, but so when somebody hits a sales page or when a lead comes in or whatever, it triggers a little cue, a bump in a channel, and lets us know that there's somebody new in process. But more than that, it brings our entire team into one platform. And now we have partners in this platform because for the most part, everybody uses Slack, so you can have different channels, different groups, different companies within the same Slack interface. And then you can, kind of merge and bridge quite a bit of stuff together. So now, I have just partners and friends in our Slack channel that, we're just working on stuff together or, attempting to work on stuff together sometimes. But so that's kind of the idea behind Slack. We did use Skype. Skype just got overrun, like for me personally, like I was constantly getting barraged with invites and, stuff that I didn't want, so I just basically signed out of Skype and that's it. Slack is by invite only. So the only people in my channel are the people I invite, when we get an invite from a different channel. So Dropbox is another one. Online file storage. You probably know, I think everybody knows about Dropbox in general. Cloud-based storage, you can share files back and forth with each other. You can have shared folders so that, you basically have one folder on your computer, everything you drag into that computer, then you can share back and forth, or you can review stuff. We use it all the time for clients. When we have copy and images and videos and that kind of stuff that needs to go from one person to another, we'll use Dropbox to make sure to send it. You can also send stuff in Slack. You can send stuff in Basecamp too. And let's see, cover chat, invoicing, project management, Dropbox. I think that's really, merchant processing. So lots of different ways to process credit cards. The one that we use most often is Stripe. So the one we recommend most often is Stripe. So your invoicing tool, your FreshBooks or your Freshworks or your invoicing tool is going to integrate with a merchant processor. So it used to be that you needed to set up like an authorized.net credit card merchant. So in order for you to take a credit card, you had to actually have a merchant account. And then you ran that credit card through the merchant account. And it took forever to get authorized for one of these things. In fact, PowerPay years ago, 10 years ago, was like the standard for underwriting for information products and coaching programs, because they allowed more high risk things than like physical products. And then, so you had PowerPay, which took their cut, and then authorized.net, which took their cut. And then there was lots of layers to credit card processing. So you had to apply. A week later, you get approved. A week after that, you get your login. Then, so none of this was easy or quick. And then, probably 5-6 years ago, Stripe was founded, and Stripe now makes merchant processing as difficult as setting up a PayPal account. Basically, you create a Stripe account, you fill out their form, you verify your identity using social, you give them your bank account information, which is the bank account that they're going to deposit money into for you. There's no monthly fees. There is a per transaction fee, as with all credit cards. And then they just, you integrate it with whatever order form you're using. So like for FreshBooks is the invoicing software. It integrates through Stripe or through authorized.net, but for this example, through Stripe, to then take the credit card payment. It processes the credit card payment, and 2 days later it gets dropped in your bank account. It even has instant payouts. If you want to pay an extra small little fee, then they'll pay you instantly and just direct deposit it right into your bank account that same day, like 10 minutes after. So there's lots of things that Stripe does that traditional merchant processors don't do. However, Stripe denies any application that is high risk. Oftentimes, what are some of the ones that? So sometimes it's like supplements. It doesn't like. Sometimes like forex trading. A lot of times it won't take. Once you apply, though, what was the other one? There was one we ran into. It might have been financing, merchant process. No, I forget what it was, but there was one that as soon as they applied, they just got denied straight away. And then I want to say we appealed the decision because they thought it was one thing and it ended up being another thing, and then they reversed the decision, so it worked out fine anyway. But different verticals will be treated differently inside Stripe. So let's see, merchant processing. I think that's really about it. I mean, we talked about chat. We talked about file storage. We talked about project management, contact management, Google Docs. We talked about support invoicing and mind mapping. Some of the stuff that I've kind of been into lately in terms of tools, business management tools. Canva is one. We talked about Canva when we were talking about Facebook ads. So Canva is a fantastic tool for creating Facebook ads, for doing like quick little thumbnails and GIFs and stuff. So we use it in almost everything. Like actually today's GSD Daily, thumbnail is done in Canva. So what else? I think that's really about it. Those are pretty much the tools that I find myself using the most often, regardless of kind of where they're at. So if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the thing. This is a pretty short session here. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about people. So outsourcing, managing people, outsourcing and project management. Maybe we'll go through Basecamp, go through Upwork, talk about some of the outsourcing modules. So if you have any questions at all, just go to doneforyou.com/GSD, fill in the little thing. If you want to if you would like to schedule a call where we actually work through an action plan for your business, talk about sales funnels, marketing, creating your own products, like that kind of stuff, you go to doneforyou.com/start, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Thanks.